Hey everybody, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. And today we're talking about why did I leave a major city, a big city, aka Chicago, and move down to Northwest Arkansas. And I bet a lot of the things that I talk about are gonna be very similar to what you're thinking as well. So let's talk about that. But before we begin, if you could like and share this video with a friend or family, that would make the world of difference. I try to produce as much content as humanly possible about Northwest Arkansas, obviously. So liking and also sharing, make sure that everyone can live, work, and play all in NWA. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Also, if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is. Literally, starter pack full of all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What are the hospitals like? What are the schools like? What do you need to know about all of Northwest Arkansas? Boop, 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 package. Shipped right to your home. Right to your home. Like literally say nice, cool package full of all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. So enter your information below, enter your name below. Where am I shipping this package to? Where's this package going to? Enter all that information below. I'll make sure that get that package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite four-letter F word. Free! So enter your information below. I'll make sure they get that package shipped to you right away. And the first reason why I left a bigger city and moved to Northwest Arkansas, maybe this is probably a good reason why you might be leaving as well, is that I wanted more affordable taxes. Now, especially when you live in a bigger area when it comes to those kind of cities, taxes seem to get a little crazy sometimes. And I don't want to put numbers and things, because like obviously everyone has their different whatever high taxes or low taxes, but I was paying, I would consider a stupid amount of taxes with such little benefit from the actual area itself. And you can obviously put price tags, what they, you know what I'm saying? So long story short, taxes are incredibly high, one of the highest taxes areas in probably the world, but definitely America. And you get so little for the actual money you pay for things. When it comes to property taxes. This is my opinion, coming from Chicago. Tollway roads, terrible roads. The half of the year you're stuck inside because of snow. There's no parks, things aren't upkept. Blah, blah, I could go on. I don't want to complain too much about Chicago, but it could be your area. I'm sure you could pinpoint your things. But one of those things is like when you're a high taxpayer, you have certain expectations of what is to be expected. And that's one of the things that was interesting about Chicagoland area, and it obviously got worse as I got older, was that, and it's not gonna stop, is that you pay a lot of taxes and you get so little. And so it's one of the things that was really interesting to me to move to Northwest Arkansas, is that not only are the taxes very affordable, really affordable, but you see massive, massive things happening here that are like, oh yeah, even if I paid high taxes, I'm paying for it. Trail systems, new roads, new things, new splash pads, new rivers that they're building for actually kayaking. Whatever the case is, they're investing so much money back into the infrastructure here and the systems for things to do indoors and outdoors. I'm like, you know what? You know, my little taxes I pay, I'm very fine with that. And number two of a reason why I left a major city, aka Chicago, and moved to Northwest Arkansas, and this might be you as well, is I wanted a safer area. Now, Chicago is a specific area because it is a very unsafe area. It was safe for a minute, years ago. Obviously, major cities are usually unsafe, but recently, last 5 years, yeah, not so much. And that was one of the perks of moving to Northwest Arkansas, is just because it's just even statistically much safer than any other area, even other areas I was looking at to move to. And that was one of the big perks about moving here, was just the safety factor of everything. And leaving politics and police and what does what and all that aside, let me tell you kind of how I gauge things. When I go to Onyx Coffee in Bentonville to meet clients a lot of times, or just hang out because Bentonville's an awesome city, I go to whatever the case is. And there's so many times, and if you come to visit the city, definitely watch for this. There are mountain bikes and things just sitting out in front of Onyx Coffee or any coffee shop, just sitting there with no chain, no attachment. And these bikes range from $1,000 to $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $6,000. And they're just sitting out there, and people are in there drinking coffee, grabbing coffee, whatever the case is, or just, and that's kind of my plumb line, whatever you want to call it, of like, okay, this is generally a safe area. You can look at statistics and all the different things, and obviously NW is a very, very safe area, but it's really fun and interesting and cool to see bikes that are worth a lot of money just sitting out there, just people are fine doing that, and they know it's safe. And so that's one of the big perks living here, is just the safety of it all. Whoa, before we jump on to the next point, I have something brand new called Instant Home Updates. So maybe you're looking to move down to Northwest Arkansas and using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is. It's literally Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below: name, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, where you're looking to move to North Arkansas. Where do you think is the most interesting place to live to? Let me know if all the information below. I'll make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, side note, every single Friday I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? When is First Fridays? That's a little more obvious though. When is First Thursdays? What's going on in Fayetteville? What's going on in downtown Rogers? What new business is moving to Rogers? Maybe it's Costco. Maybe it's, who knows? Who knows? What new Major League Soccer thing is being built here? It's just endless. There's so many things going on here. Endless things going on in Northwest Arkansas. Enter your name and email below. I'll make sure you get that email every single Friday. But side note, you will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you'll be the most informed person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third factor of why I left a bigger city and moved actually to Northwest Arkansas out of all places is the fact that I wanted to grow and get ahead. Now you could argue, and some people would argue this, like, oh, you can do all those things in a big city. But the problem with that is that your salary, and a lot of times, will match the expenses of where you're living. And so a lot of times people will live an hour outside of Chicago at lower, obviously, different home styles, and then drive into the city. But that's an hour and a half, an hour, two back and forth. So 2 hours of your day of your life just gone. Now, obviously remote work changes things, but remote work is kind of like on the waning side a little bit. But anyways, one of the things that's beyond that is that I wanted to find a place that you could grow and get ahead. And between lower taxes, more affordable housing, and just like having jobs on site here in Northwest Arkansas was a game factor, obviously a game changer, honestly, because you can have a very, very high salary paying job or like a very good like trades job or whatever the case is, because it's growing so fast here. And then walk into the area and be within 20 minutes of your job and have a very well-paying job, afford a house, and start getting ahead. And that was one of the things that was annoying to me in Chicagoland area, was like between taxes and tollways and like actual sales tax and this levy and that levy and blah, 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 blah. It's just like, it all adds up and you're like, why am I living here again? What am I doing? I can't even get ahead. And so that was one of the big factors moving here, is just the growth of the area. The job, obviously, and I'm in real estate, so I'm obviously more self-employed, but it's one of the things where it's like so many jobs and so many things going on here that it's like people moving here, like they can actually get ahead. And that's what's really honestly lovely about the whole area. And the fourth reason why I left a bigger city moving to Northwest Arkansas out of all places, and this kind of dovetails off my third one, and that is an area of growth. And so with Chicagoland area and a lot of the big cities are actually on the decline. And obviously those cities will exist for a long time. New York, Chicago, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, whatever placeholders, Denver, whatever you want to put there, they'll be fine forever. But they are definitely on a series of decline as people move out of there because of the reasons I'm talking about right now. And one of the big reasons was that I wanted to move to an area of growth. And so, of course, you can check out my other videos about what other areas I chose to look at versus Northwest Arkansas. Obviously I looked at, parts of Kentucky and Tennessee and Huntsville, Alabama, looked at Phoenix, looked at other areas of high growth area with trail systems, the whole thing. But skipping all that was the fact that I wanted an area of growth, and Northwest Arkansas is definitely on a very high growth track pattern just because of all the influx of businesses moving to the area and people as well. And so obviously my whole channel is dedicated and just talks about the growth of Northwest Arkansas, all the cool things to do here, and obviously so much going on here, as you're fully aware. But one of the things that I want to be part of was a high growth area versus something in decline. Like, we can all go to the news and see what big businesses left Chicago or what big businesses left San Francisco or whatever the case is, whereas Northwest Arkansas has definitely been on the incline of things. I mean, we just got articles in the Wall Street Journal about us, on New York Times, all the different like big people, big journalism is noticing Northwest Arkansas, and it's growing very quickly and fast, and people are enjoying it around here, of course. And one of the things about other areas is that it's not that. And so I wanted to move to an area where it was definitely on the growth pattern. And fifth and final reason why I chose to leave a major city, Chicago, and move to Northwest Arkansas, and this is, I would consider one of my top reasons, even though it's number 5, is the fact that it is focused on the outdoors. Now, in other major cities, areas with concrete jungles, I was just in LA last year, and it's shocking how much has changed over the last couple of years, for obvious reasons. But it's one of those things where it's like, I would always consider LA like a very lush area. And obviously they've had a lot of issues with rain and water and yeah. But long story short, it was just interesting to see a concrete jungle again. I was kind of sad. I'm like, oh my gosh, LA, it's like, you changed so much. But same thing happened in Chicago, and Chicago's just gone downhill. They have focused less on outdoors. And every city eventually gets this when it comes to major cities, is that, one of those things. And that's what's the interesting about Northwest Arkansas, and that's what I wanted to be here, is that they're not willing to sacrifice the outdoors for growth. It is just not going to happen. As they've stated many times, they are not in a position to grow for the sake of growth. They'd rather have consistent growth over the course of time and not break the charm of the area. Because once you lose the charm, what do you got? You just got a regular old city in the middle of Arkansas. Who cares? But with Northwest Arkansas, very specific trail growth, a lot of outdoor stuff, a lot of recreation land has been reclaimed and just always will be recreation land in the actual Arkansas trust system. So it's one of the things with Northwest Arkansas is they are dedicated to the outdoors altogether. It is the natural state. It is the diamond state. It will always be that way. And that is one of the fascinating things about Northwest Arkansas is just their dedication to maintaining the gemness, if that's a word, of the area itself without hindering growth, without pushing growth for the sake of growth. And that was made the area so special because there's other areas that are in high growth, obviously positions as well, just like Northwest Arkansas, but they are sacrificing growth and just eliminating all the special factors of it. Whereas Northwest Arkansas is growing, but not eliminating what makes it special. And I find that very fascinating. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you are thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itineraries linked below. Maybe you're a venturer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. There's a 3-day itinerary linked down below for you. So go ahead and download it and use it when you get down here. Also, when you do come down here, I can give it a $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, we can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, let's see you next one.